Another type of graph that they might ask you to make from the information of your frequency distribution table is to graph something called a frequency polygon. Now, a frequency polygon is very useful if you want to compare a couple data sets, and if you did them in terms of graphing their histograms and you tried to overlay them to compare them, the boxes or the bars of one graph would overshadow the other, so it would be really hard to compare. But if we just take the skeleton of the points of the heights of the bars and just connect those with line segments, we get something called a frequency polygon. And then they're very easy to overlay and do a comparison between two data sets. Now with the frequency polygon, what you want to do is, again, look at marking along your horizontal axis the midpoints of each of the classes, and making sure that I denote any difference in terms of scaling with marking along my axis. And I'm going to do my midpoints, but I'm going to go like every other just to make sure that I have space to draw these in, and realizing that they're the midpoints of the classes. So we'll go ahead and write 18 for our first midpoint, and then skip a space, go 25 for the next midpoint, 32 for the third class's midpoint, 39 for the fourth class's midpoint, and 46 for the fifth class's midpoint. So we've just marked the midpoints, and we can remind ourselves of that by writing that in. Now for a frequency polygon, what you do is you don't make bars, but you actually plot dots, and then we will connect those dots with line segments. And the way you plot the dot for a frequency polygon is to graph the ordered pairs midpoint of the class, comma, the frequency. So we'll go to the midpoint of the class and go up to the frequency of the class and draw a dot there for each class. So for my first class, my midpoint is 18, and my frequency is 7. So go to 18 and up to 7, and we will draw a dot there. We'll plot a dot there. For the second class, we have a midpoint of 25 and a height of 3. So we'll plot a dot there. For the third class, we have a midpoint of 32 and a height of 2. For the fourth class, we have a midpoint of 39 and a height of 5. And then for the fifth class, we have a midpoint of 46 and a height of 1. So we've plotted those dots. Now what we do is we connect the dots with line segments. So make your line segment between the dots for each of these that you plotted. And then again for a frequency polygon, we come from before the first class, from the horizontal axis up to the first dot. And for the very last dot, we come out of that one and go down to beyond the last class. So you come back down to the horizontal axis for the finishing touches of the frequency polygon. But here's a frequency polygon for the data values that we had in the first video clip.